Can you avoid getting a criminal record if you're guilty of a DUI? That's what I'm going to cover in this video. I'm Dan Joffe, a DUI lawyer at Nextlaw. When you get charged with a DUI, there is a range of possible outcomes. On one end of the spectrum, there is getting your DUI charge withdrawn or dismissed. This is your biggest win for your DUI case. On the other end of the spectrum is a conviction for your impaired driving charge. Along with the penalties, a DUI conviction will result in you getting a criminal record. If you have a criminal record, that will pose serious challenges in your life, including potential obstacles with employment and travel. And this raises the following question. If the evidence is strong enough to prove a DUI conviction, is there a way to acknowledge guilt but avoid a criminal record? In criminal law in Canada, there is a path to a guilty outcome with no conviction and no long-term criminal record. In this context, there is something called an absolute or conditional discharge. With an absolute or conditional discharge, the court will find you guilty of a criminal charge, but a conviction will not be registered. And according to the Criminal Records Act, your guilty outcome would be removed from the criminal records database after a 1 to 3 year period, and you would not have a criminal record. However, there is a problem with discharges in the context of DUI charges. In Canada, a judge cannot issue any form of absolute or conditional discharge because the criminal code prescribes a mandatory minimum punishment for impaired driving offenses. So if you're guilty of a DUI, you cannot get an absolute or conditional discharge. A DUI conviction will be registered and you will get a criminal record. The only way to remove your criminal record would be to get a pardon, which is now called a record suspension, by applying to the Parole Board of Canada. Finally, if you've been charged with drunk driving, DUI, impaired driving, or refusing a breathalyzer test, your legal strategy can make the difference between winning and losing. Reach out, let's have a confidential discussion about your case. The call is free, and you can book a time by clicking on the link in the description below.